The debate over whether Future has more classics than Kendrick Lamar reveals more about how fans define greatness than it does about either artist's catalog. In today's internet culture, where opinions spread quickly and are often shaped by algorithms, even widely accepted legacies are constantly re-evaluated. Kendrick Lamar, once almost universally praised, now finds himself the subject of revisionist takes. Still, for listeners who followed his evolution from Section Shawty's to Good Kid, MA80 City, to Pimp a Butterfly, and Damn, the strength of his catalog remains undeniable. At the same time, Future's presence in this conversation reflects a shift in how hip hop success is measured, placing more value on cultural impact and consistency rather than just lyrical depth. At their core, Future and Kendrick Lamar represent two completely different artistic approaches. Future thrives on atmosphere, emotion, and volume, while Kendrick focuses on precision, storytelling, and conceptual depth. This difference is what makes direct comparisons difficult. Future's dominance, particularly between 2014 and 2017, showcased an unmatched run of releases that shaped the sound of an entire era. Projects like Monster, Beast Mode, 56 Nights, and DS2 came in rapid succession, followed by collaborations and back-to-back albums like What a Time to Be Alive with Drake, as well as Future and HNDRXX. This run wasn't just productive, it was culturally dominant, influencing both mainstream music and underground scenes. Future's music resonated because it captured raw emotion in a way that felt immediate and relatable. Through collaborations with producers like Metro Boomin, he helped redefine trap music, turning it into a space where vulnerability, toxicity, and introspection could coexist. His songs became part of everyday life, shaping moods, relationships, and even online culture. His greatness lies in how consistently he delivered music that people could connect with in real time, creating a catalog filled with projects that fans consider classics based on their impact and replay value. On the other hand, Kendrick Lamar built his legacy through a much more deliberate and focused approach. His albums are not just collections of songs, but fully realized bodies of work that explore complex themes and narratives. Good Kid, MAAD City, tells a deeply personal coming of age story, while To Pimp a Butterfly dives into systemic oppression, identity, and survival, and Damn examines moral duality and personal conflict. Kendrick's music often requires time and attention, rewarding listeners who engage with it as a complete experience rather than just individual tracks. This difference in approach highlights why the classics debate is so complicated. Future's catalog is built on volume and cultural presence, where multiple projects within a short time frame can all be considered classics due to their influence. Kendrick's catalog, however, is built on curation, with fewer releases that carry immense weight and long-term significance. As a result, comparing the two directly becomes less about counting classics and more about understanding what qualifies as one in the first place. Another important factor is how institutions recognize greatness. Kendrick Lamar has received widespread critical acclaim and numerous awards, positioning him as one of the most respected artists of his generation. His work aligns with what traditional systems often reward: intentional artistry, depth, and innovation. Future, while equally influential, has not always received the same level of institutional recognition despite his massive impact on the sound and direction of modern hip hop. His influence is felt more in the culture itself than in awards or critical rankings. Ultimately, the question of who has more classics depends entirely on perspective. If classics are defined as cohesive, concept driven albums with lasting critical impact, Kendrick Lamar clearly leads. If they are defined by influence, consistency, and the ability to shape an era, Future presents a compelling argument. The reality is that both artists represent different forms of greatness, and trying to measure them by the same standard misses the point entirely. Kendrick Lamar documents the thoughts and struggles of a generation, while Future captures its emotions and energy. Both contributions are equally important, and together they define what hip hop sounded and felt like over the past decade.